Even if it means growing them out of your company, then you've got to look at yourself and your leadership style.
Welcome to Fika's Focus. Voices leading change.
Today I'm talking to you about some reflections on leadership, and it's come about from us having a real cool catch-up with a major education company yesterday, Story Park, and shout out to Story Park and the team that came through with Jamie. It was an unreal opportunity for us to talk through industry leader to see what they're up to, but also it gave our leadership an opportunity to really sit in and discuss everything, and it pointed out to me how important it was that we schedule our regular catch-ups as a leadership council. So some back information for people. It's important to Courtney and I that we build and facilitate opportunities for leaders to talk to one another. In my time as school principal, I had David, who was part of my team, as he was my assigned mentor, and he was out at Gordonton School, and I had Tony, who was also part of a mentor for me. But sometimes you wanted to go and talk with your peers as well, and the important piece of that was being part of the beginning principals program, where I had a group of principals and we'd get together every now and again and talk through things and chew the fat, and we were able to really identify the same common struggles and achievements that we were having, and also look individually at what the achievements were being made by those differing principles and how they arrived there. So our leadership council catches up once a week, and we have a bit of a 2-hour window, 2-hour hui, and it's an opportunity for us to really dig into what's going on in our business, what's going on in our community, what's going on at an individual level of centre, but also right back into individual level of our people, of whānau that we really want to help, and all the awesome projects that we have going on. It allows us a lot of time to be creative, which is a really powerful part of it. When we sat down yesterday, a comment that was made by Jamie was that he could see how cohesive our leadership council was. He asked our reasons, what we get up to, and we talked about the structure of our meetings, and that every week when we come in, we always start with gratitude. We start with what we've called it Grounded with Gratitude, and Grounded with Gratitude is an opportunity for us to go around the table and hear what we are grateful for. It is a practice that I, as an individual, have used a lot, but we implemented that in maybe a year and a half ago when we really started getting stuck into these leadership council huis. And what it's done is it allows us to come in, we have a topic, say it might be for a person, or it might be for someone that's in our life, or a learning or a struggle or something that we're really grateful for, and the lessons that it has given us. And it allows us to connect on a deeper level outside of just operations and all that junk that doesn't really matter around building a huge culture of curiosity and learning. But the council also gives us a chance to really acknowledge all the great stuff that's going on. We share our metrics in terms of, occupancy is one that we give some time to, but we actually get down and break down the metrics of what we're actually up to. So as a leadership council, we're all aware, everyone's certainly involved in what's going on, and it allows some voices at the table to continue to really make sure that they can add their expertise or their area of passion into something that we're trying to explore. So I thought I'd wrap parts of this up into 3, and there's more things, but these are 3 things that stand out to me as I came out of that kōrero yesterday with Story Park. So the first part of a leadership learning, the first one that we really push hard on, is surrounding yourself with really powerful people. Now, that is such an important piece for your leadership. Courtney and I often talk about trying to be the dumbest in the room as often as possible. And that means that we go and sit in spaces where we know about 30% of what the conversation is going on, and we walk out and we try and decipher down exactly what's going on. We have had lots of opportunities with that recently, talking with developers and AI. We've been talking to people who are creating major projects. We've got all sorts of things, and we sit in there and we get inspired, and we listen, and we ask questions, and we stay really curious around what they're up to, because it allows us to really dig in and understand what they're doing, and we take learning from that. We catch up with those people regularly, and that is also the power of the Leadership Council. We bring ourselves in. We're a powerful group of people, because what we do have the opportunity to influence is the opportunities for our teaching teams, and ultimately improving outcomes for children and whānau. So it is a very powerful group of people. Catching up once a week and having an ability to talk to one another in that space is an extremely powerful opportunity, and it is a process that really ensures that we keep the quality high. And that was actually very adamant when we were talking about what we were doing on Story Park. So surround yourself with powerful people. The second thing, and this is a really important part that we really focus on, is build opportunities for your people. If you are not a leader that is not looking to continually build opportunities for your people, even if it means growing them out of your company, then you've got to look at yourself and your leadership style. That is my opinion. It is a really important facet that you go out and you look at it and you think, right, what is this person passionate about? Can we meet that passion? And if we can't, where can we put them so that we can allow that passion to really thrive? That is a critical part to what we want to do. Even so, yesterday, and I'll say this, some of our leadership council were amazing experts on their product. It was incredible to see the conversations that some of our team were having about the absolute use of Story Park. Now, in my mind, I'm always thinking, man, imagine if Story Park reached out to one of these team members and was like, you know what? I loved what you were saying. I loved your ideas. Would you like to come and work with us? Wouldn't that be amazing? And we're okay with that. If you think as a leader that you're going to keep hold of your people for the rest of their careers without advancing their career, you've got another thing coming. And actually, I know that in my own thinking, that would be selfish. And I have been lucky that I've worked with leaders that have always fought to put me into better positions. The third thing, and this one is, is a really. Yeah, I think this one is quite hard at execution, because when you look, when you start to look at your collective and the growth and what's going on, it is easy for individuals to get in and just have a look at it at a micro level and solve it themselves. I want to talk about a book in here from Michael Bungay-Stanier, and the book is called The Coaching Habit. And he really talks to this, because this is my third point, which is don't solve things as individuals, solve it as a collective. Michael Bungay-Stanier, he talks about the drama triangle, but there's a role in the drama triangle that is a constant threat in things that we see all the time, and that is that of the rescuer. The rescuer's role is to run in and rescue everyone and save the day. And it's a really, really hard habit to break. Especially I found in a teaching position when I was teaching in my younger days, I was the person that solved all the problems for the kids. And the day I started actually empowering the children and giving autonomy and allowing us to solve it as a collective was the day that we really started advancing as a classroom and as a group that was moving towards a shared goal of improving our reading and writing and maths. And actually, we've carried the same attitude when it comes to a lot of our decision-making ability within Future Focus. You're only as good as your people. And our Leadership Council allows us to sit down, put problems on the table, disagree about things, stay curious, stay candid about it, and then move towards a goal that is of a collective. Now, sometimes, most of the time, people can sit there and know that they know the right answer or the fastest answer, and that is something that I am prone to doing, is rushing to a decision. But sitting back, taking people's points of views, hearing them out, understanding what their point of view is from and where they're coming from and what that perspective is built on is an important facet to building a collective leadership. And in that sense, what you will see is you will see your people really start to take courage in their decision-making skills and abilities. And in the end, you know what really happens is you get to a point where you start to dumb yourself out of a position or role, so that because your people just advance way over you. And that is a really powerful moment, because for me personally, or for Courtney and I, we look down the table, we see our people really achieving, they're crushing it, they're owning the conversation, they're holding it. It's not just centered around myself, or centered around Courtney and I. It is absolutely our people just deeply in charge of what's going on. So those are three little points that I can offer in terms of leadership in that space, and that's really helped enable our current levels of success. And I encourage you to really explore those with your teams. Up the wires.